Hello everyone, Blue Shock here. Today we'll be doing a Gmod how to train build tutorial. Um, so I've, browsed around YouTube. I see a couple tutorials, but there haven't been any, really basic tutorials to show anyone how to really start train building. And that's what I'm going to do today. So I already have a model out. I'll delete it right now. So when you first start train building, you'll probably download server packs. I'm in TS200. As showed here. I recommend going here new because it is the best place for new people to go since they're nicest and they'll actually, if you have any questions, they'll answer you. So there's in this growth treatment pack. Go here, pick any train, but I'm going to do the SD40S2 just for simplistic sake. And if you're new to trains in general, you'll learn all the codes and numbers and names. But basically, this engine was made by EMD, as said here. It's basically almost the most common train in the world, so we'll be doing that. So the next thing you're gonna need is get the bogies or the trucks that you need them for train to go. Now the SD4 with it's an SD model, so it has 3 trucks. Loco Bogie 3 is gonna be your friend here. When you go to precision, click axis. Make sure you have all these box ticks like mine. You could do other ones, but doesn't really matter. But what you're going to want to do is to first of all straighten these up just for aligning it perfectly. And since it's not actually straight around the world, what you're going to do is actually go for the middle of that. You see what I'm talking about? Put the middle of the truck in the middle of this little cross here. You're going to put it in the center. Make sure it lines up. And yeah, you got it there. Repeat the process on the other side. I'm using control to slow myself down if you didn't know that already. Again, put the center of the truck on the center of the body where it says to put it, where it was like another square. And just put it right. That should be good. Just line up. Now your train can move. Make sure. So if your train, you might have the train. How do you make it go? Well, in the description I'll provide this E2, but you would have downloaded WaterMod by now. You have all of these. These are my favorites. You'll probably find the E2 chip here, or you could just search for it up here, like call the expression 2. Click that, and you'll probably have nothing here. Until you, so this is how you make a new one. So basically, you'll copy and paste it from my description, go in here, and paste it, and save it. If you don't know how to do that, there are tutorials on how to do that. And so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get my OLC. That doesn't matter up there. Just get OLC. It's called Optimize Locomotive Control. Now, you could change the sound that it'll make. Now that's the incorrect. I'll give you the correct engine sounds just for you guys, simplistically state, for the sake of helping you guys out, not have to browse through sounds and get all that stuff you'll have to learn later. It's not hard, but I believe the engine sounds are here. No, that's EMD and Alco. EMD, I believe, is in the first pack. Correct? Correct. Since this is a 4.2, I'm just gonna get Sony X. It was just idle. Okay. I'm gonna do it for you guys. Sorry for oopsies. Sorry about that. So what you're going to do is go change the E2 sound. I'll do that for you guys so you don't have to do that. Sorry for just saying that. What you're going to do is, upon getting this E2, stick it, you can stick it in the back of the train, but make sure whatever you do is facing the opposite direction of the front of the train. I like to put it on my bogies because it's just, it's where they get powered, so it makes sense to put it down here, not, in the cab. The train wasn't powered in the cab. You know what I mean? Oh, uh, some lag. Ooh. Gmod just might have done an oopsie. Gmod? You there? Gmod, you there? Crap. This is gonna have to cut from the video. Oh. Okay, we just had... Okay. Sorry about that. Oh, we just had a massive, lag. Or lerp. I don't know what it is. That was, but... Okay, it should have been placed. No? Alright, so to replace it. Basically, face it the opposite direction. So place it where you intended. So optimal locomotive control is now, there. So what you're gonna do now, right? We have, configure what you want, top speed. That's the force multiplier. Probably not to change that. Just that's the top speed and stuff. Now what I want to do is get a seat, because that's what you need. Now the best seats are, mag trains. They look good. Now, this is another time we have to use a tool. Use precision. Now you could use move, which if you were to touch it, it would fall over, or weld. Make sure do not weld your trains. We'll get to how to, unweld your trains and put them all together later. But we need to put... Don't have to get in the center directly on here. Just place it somewhere realistic. It doesn't have to be. Just place it somewhere here where your arms are going to be sticking out. Snap it there. And just check your arms. Yeah, I didn't change my player model, but just make sure your arms aren't, sticking out locomotive. That's the most important thing. So next, what you're going to want to do is get your pod controller, which is another E2. Again, it'll be probably in here somewhere, or you could type for pod controller. I have them all favorited. Just type in pod controller up there. What you're going to do is put your pod controller here. And then now, we'll come back to it. Search up constant value here. Put it next to it, or it doesn't matter. Just place it somewhere on the train that's on the body. What you're going to want to do, right, is to allow them to this, which means when this is always on. Basically, it'll tell you when you're in that seat to allow buttons and add crosshairs. So coming back to the pod controller, go onto this and link it up. Once that's done, now if you sit in the seat, it should show green. And it should show yellow, meaning it is connected to a entity or a seat. So now what you're going to want to do is go to the OLC chip, go to W, put it in the pod controller as W, and go back, do the same thing for S and space. You can wire more things on here, not from the chip, but onto the part like a horn and other stuff. So we'll get to that in another video. We're gonna keep it simple this time. So now you might still something called inactive. That just turns on the train. So search up there for button, or I have it here in favorites. A button has to be toggle. Put it wherever you want, but back here is just easier. Now we're going to take your wire, which you would search for it, you would go to active. The bottom one is overwrite. We don't need to do that. Yeah, sorry for the chat. Yeah, sometimes it gets not. So now the train, if I were to flick this on, before we can run it, there's some things we have to do, like add a light. You're going to want a lamp, because lights don't add anything. You can make it whatever you want. These are my settings. These are the more realistic ones. Place it, you would add props in front of it to make it realistic, but again, this is just your first train. you want it to run. We don't need much detail. Just plop that there, and then plop one in the back. Alright, sorry about that. People come in the shed just to see if it's taken. Okay. Once that's there, you know, that's good enough. So now, with the other buttons, like you did, make sure it's toggle. Put the button anywhere you want. Again, doesn't matter, but you put it here, and then here. Hope that's not... It doesn't matter where you put the buttons, but just put it, you know. So now what you're going to do is wire... There's a lot of stuff here, but that's because, you know, you want to vary the brightness and stuff. Put on to the front wherever you want, and then just put the other one on the other side of the other button. So now, if you were to flick on the button with the wire from the wire tool, you'll have light. Though I just realized that my light here for the lamp is actually extremely short. The distance should be much farther. So I just messed up my lamps. Sorry about that. See, I won't be perfect everything, but just when you keep your value, just turn up your distance. Don't delete what you did. Don't be an idiot. Generally, is the term. Just rewire. No, don't rewire. Just just keep going with that. So now you should see a light there. Perfect. That means it works. Now we have to hide the ugly part. Well, before we can do that, we need to make this up. So there's a couple of things you can make invisible. Material invisible is one way, or color and make the color and just turn down this to 0. I prefer material. It won't glitch out as much. So click on the lamps, make them visible. They won't make the light invisible. So see, it still works. Proof. Take there. Light still turns on. So now we have that, you know, the unnecessary stuff gone. Now we need to multi-parent stuff. And there's multiple ways to multi-parent, but since we're using Magnum seats, we have to multi-parent the buttons if we're going to multi-parent them to a gate. Which, I know this sounds complicated, but it's not. Just search up here, gate, like that. And you'll just make sure you click on no collide and parent. And just put it anywhere in the train. I'm going to put it here. Alright. Go back to your, now this is when things get kind of confusing. You don't have to parent everything to the gate. Alright? But, just for simplicity's sake, take all the buttons you have, and your seat, and multi-parent it, and include and make sure you multi-parent the gate, and then right-click on the gate. That stuff is now all multi-parent, and buttons will only really work when you're sitting down in that seat you multi-parented, and the pod controller. Now everything else, get your multi-parent tool out, the lights, which do exist, multi-parent that, and the train body. You can multi-parent the train body, but do not ever multi-parent the bogies, since they have to have physics. Since multi-parenting removes the physics. Now, your trains are ready to roll. But, you need to multi-parent the gate to the body, so you don't have any extra cons. And we can check for cons in Ice Tools, and then you click Constraint Map, and then you left-click it, you say 2 constraints. This is very good. But before we can do that, we need, might say, hey, this train looks ugly. How can we make it look better? Well, there's a couple things you can do to make it look better, but stay basic. The easiest way is to change the color. Ensuring that it's not invisible. Click on the body. That's a little too blue. Like, there. That's kind of bluish. And then the same thing for down here. Just make it kind of a more grayish black. It's usually the more appropriate color. It's a little too black. Just fiddle around with the color until you're happy with it. Now, also do not multi-parent this. That needs physics since it pushes you. Your train is technically ready, but I might say, hey, I want some text, right? But there's some things you might want to know. One, there's two things we have to add next. Text. Yeah, text. We need to add text. Now, I'll add this E2 to the description again. I'll be adding another one also. Type in, it's be called Gmod HoloText. This is a very useful tool. It lets you create tool. Now, I'm going to just call this one YT tutorial. I don't know if I spelled that one. The YouTube train, I guess. I don't know. We're gonna see. You could fiddle with the length and height, which, to be honest, it's a little too tall. You're just gonna fiddle around with it until it looks good. Just place it anywhere in train. Maybe you can recreate a short for you. Yeah. I just stretch that by 80. You see again, just fiddle around with it till it looks good. There's multiple fonts you could put in. I prefer font 2. Looks the best, and you have to fiddle around with it a little. It'll look the same, but when it's finished, it'll look nice. And try to get to the other side in the same area, generally. There. And now you're gonna have to multi-parent. And before you multi-parent, remember, do the multi-parenting, not letting you change anything. You are gonna have to multi-parent the body. Oh, I just changed the material of the train. Oh, that's not good. We can fix that. Don't make that mistake, kids. Don't change the material of the train. You will not get your color back. So you could just there you go. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, see, I'm not going to do everything perfect. I'm sorry. But what I meant to do was just multi-parent each of these E2 since you and it should be good. Next thing we're going to need to do is there's a thing called Fenderbender Defender. Now, it sounds a little weird, but what it is, it helps you. See, on Gmod you will derail. And cleaning up after it will be a pain. So there's this E2 that prevents it, and it looks like this. So you're gonna wire enable to the button that turns on the train, or any button if you want to make it separate. Put active on the button where it says active. Then miles per hour can go to here. Now, see that? Now it's working. Just make sure to multi-parent it to the bottom. You'll know it's multi-parent if it's green. So it makes it invisible. Now you have Fenderbender Defender, and here are the commands to Fenderbender Defender. To start it, do refresh or read the instructions. Well, it's not on at the moment.
That's a Fenderbender. That's a Fenderbender. That's a Fenderbender.
Oh yeah, forgot. You have to be in the seat to really turn it off. There we go. Since it's again. So now you have a train, and mine looks kind of. The material didn't do very well with it. But what you're gonna do now is save it. So you'll open your new tool called Advanced Duplicator 2. Make sure it's 2. You're gonna right click on there, called New Folder. I'm gonna call this S Tutorial Train. You're gonna want to find that in here. I have a lot here. And make sure you tick these things on. Own your prop and change the size. I'm gonna change it up to 500. That should be good. Basically, left click to get rid of anything in there, and then there should be a box. And since I changed the material of the train, it's not gonna show. But left click it, and then before you save it, just see if it saves properly. If it does, you can proceed to right click on here, save, call it whatever you want, or give it a description. I don't give a description. Wait for it to save. If it says save correctly, good. Now here's how to operate the train. So to operate the train, turn it on.